What's up, CK crew? It's your boy CK2K, and today we will be doing today's Knicks story video on our other point guard. Nope, not Frank Ntilikina, but Emmanuel Mudiay. Now, Emmanuel Kabia. Look, Emmanuel Mudiay, if you could correct me in the DMs, let me know how to actually say your name, bro. I apologize if I'm butchering it. Emmanuel Mudiay was born on March 5th, 1996 in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Now, as a baby, he sadly lost his father, Jean-Paul Mudiay, and due to the Second Congo War, his mom did whatever it took to support them growing up. She used to grow vegetables and coffee beans to make a living for this family. But luckily, things got better as they were able to move to the United States when he was a bit older. Now we fast forward a bit to his high school life. Emmanuel Mudiay went to Grace Prep Academy in Arlington, Texas, where he played with soon-to-be five-star center Isaiah Austin, who a lot of you guys probably know for this moment.
The next pick in the 2014 NBA draft, the NBA selects Isaiah Austin from Baylor University.
Yes, Isaiah Austin was diagnosed with Marfan syndrome, which stopped his chances to being an NBA player in 2015. But the NBA still put this together where he was able to hear his name be announced by the commission, which was a cool event. Fast forward now to 2018, he's actually playing overseas right now and is killing it right now with a crazy stat line with highlights like this. But that's neither here nor there. Isaiah Austin, good guy. Now, Mudiay's freshman season, he dropped 16 points in the TAPS Class 4A Finals to help Grace Prep beat the two-time defending champion Westbury Christian School 42-37. That's a low-scoring game for a high school, but that's his freshman year. It's not a big deal. He then transferred to Prime Prep Academy in Dallas, Texas, where top recruit Jordan McKee played for as well. Now, by his senior year, he was rated the second best recruit in his class. Second best recruit, like, of all the guys, he's the second. Okay, sorry, it's just crazy. Emmanuel Mudiay, just all right, sorry. Now, with this rating, he was thought to be an eventual #1 overall pick in the 2015 NBA draft. Mudiay ultimately committed to play for Larry Brown at SMU over the likes of schools like Arizona, Baylor, Kansas, and Kentucky. In the summer of 2014, he decided to take that Brandon Jennings route and skip college to go play overseas with the Guangdong Southern Tigers. Now, only at 18 years old, Mudiay signed a one-year, $1.2 million contract. $1.2 million. That's crazy. Sadly, he was later injured, and the Tigers had to bring in an NBA vet like Will Bynum to replace him as an injury replacement. Now, Mudiay returned just in time for Game 3 in the semifinals, where the Tigers were up against the Beijing Ducks. But he wasn't much help as the Tigers ultimately lost the series 3-1 in Game 4. The series was best out of 5. It wasn't best out of 7. In Mudiay's 12 games playing with the Guangdong Tigers, he averaged 18 points per game, 6.3 boards, 5.9 assists, and 1.6 steals per game. These stats were appealing to a lot of teams in the lottery for the following draft, and he was picked up 7th by the Denver Nuggets in the 2015 NBA draft. Yes, the same draft where a lot of people thought he would go #1 overall, but he was picked up #7. Now, starting off, Mudiay showed signs of being the point guard of the future for the Denver Nuggets. In his debut game against the Houston Rockets, he put in 17 points and 9 assists in a 105-85 win. Now, Mudiay started every game at the beginning of his rookie season until he suffered an ankle sprain that forced him to miss 14 games. Now, following his injury, he continued to have a bit of an up and down rookie season, while having some nights like the night he scored his career-high 30 points against the Phoenix Suns, and other nights where he looked as if he belonged in the D League. But nonetheless, his potential was always noticeable. At the end of his rookie season, he was selected to the all-rookie second team, and he was also invited to be a part of the USA men's select team to train with the men's national team in preparation for the 2016 Rio Summer Olympics. All these accolades look really well on his resume, but his rookie season sadly seemed to be the peak of his short time in Denver. Now in 2016, Mudiay would start seeing his minutes go down until he was ultimately resorted to the bench role with the emergence of rookie Jamal Murray in the backcourt with Gary Harris. Now in his sophomore season, Mudiay's numbers slightly dropped with averages like 11 points per game, 3.9 assists, 3.2 rebounds, and only 0.7 steals per game. Again, this was Jamal Murray's rookie season, but he was showing signs of being the possible point guard of the future over our Emmanuel Mudiay. It also doesn't help that Mudiay only played 55 games to Jamal Murray's astounding 82 games that entire season. And moving on to Mudiay's third season, this was the season that he was ultimately traded to the New York Knicks, as a lot of us would know as last season. He was moved in a 3-team deal that would send Doug McDermott from New York to Dallas, Devin Harris from Dallas to Denver, and us ultimately receiving Emmanuel Mudiay. Now ultimately Mudiay did have an okay second half of the season with the New York Knicks, especially after joining an already pretty crowded backcourt, while we also just brought in a relatively new Trey Burke a few months ago. Now in Mudiay's debut against the Indiana Pacers, he dropped 14 points and tallied 10 assists in, well, a loss. Now the 6'5" point guard would end his third season with only 8.6 points per game, 3.2 assists, and 2.4 rebounds, tallying his career lows. And a lot of Knicks fans are wondering, why the hell did we trade for this guy? Now that all sounds well and good, but sadly Knicks fans are already throwing in the towel with Mudiay, saying that he's washed, saying that he's a bust, and saying that we are wasting our time with Mudiay when we have Frank Ntilikina and Trey Burke. But let me put things in a little bit of perspective for some of my naysayers. Emmanuel Mudiay will be entering his 4th NBA season, his first full season as a New York Knick, at only 22 years old. 22 years old. Now let that sink in for a little bit. Now please enlighten me in the comments below, but I don't know many other players in the NBA that you can say met their full potential by the time they were 22. I mean, look at our own Trey Burke. He was a top prospect, expected to be an instant star, and he is now on the same roster as Emmanuel Mudiay, looking to complete a rebuild of not only his career but his name. Now David Fizdale has said that the starting point guard role is up for grabs, although a lot of us are speculating it's going to be either between Trey Burke and Frank Ntilikina, which is rightfully so. But Fizdale is claiming that these 3 young guards are going to have to fight for the starting role. So what do you guys think? Do you honestly believe that Mudiay has a chance to revive his career at such a young age, or do we think that we've seen everything that we can possibly see of Emmanuel Mudiay and that his career is slowly on the decline and he needs to get out of New York? My personal opinion, I'm a fan of Mudiay, and with our limited point guard rotation, I feel like he's going to have a powerful season with David Fizdale. But again, my opinion is mine. Your opinion is the one that really matters. Let me know in the comments below what you guys believe. Do you guys think Mudiay is going to have a good season, or do you think it's time that we get rid of him by the trade deadline? Now, we've also been seeing in the offseason him putting in some work with some recent videos of him in the gym, as well as some videos with him working out with Chris Brickley. There's a lot of signs with him looking good, and I'm thinking positive thoughts with this young kid. But again, let me know what you think.